a new pope, white smoke, and I was thinking, maybe bring them to the 20th century, you could use it for like a gender reveal. Blue smoke, it's a boy. And then I thought, no, you know what? Gender's fluid, so maybe it's all purple smoke. But it got me thinking, if that's the case, when a baby's born, it's just basically a penis reveal. And not in the creepy way I did it in college. Speaking of creepy penises, ladies and gentlemen, our next comic, Mike Manzouras!
Well, I'm glad I can't see you. So have you seen this asshole, John Cena? Who the fuck does he think he is, setting a Guinness record for the most make-a-wishes granted? I'm not going to let him make me feel bad about myself. Where does he find the time to wrestle, make movies, work out, spend time with his family, eat, grant wishes? You got to do all that shit, man? Leave some shit for the rest of us. If he was here right now, I would tell him to his face, grant my wish, John Cena, go to hell. But I'll give him this, he is handsome. I could look just like that, if I wanted to. But who wants to be that big, right? It's not my fault, though. I waste too much time on all those streaming apps. And I'm deleting them all just as soon as House of the Dragon is over. Unless Ted Lasso comes back, because that's training on how to be a better person. So as soon as Ted Lasso and House of the Dragon are gone, I am deleting them all. Except for YouTube. That's educational. During the pandemic, I learned how to make smash burgers and change my toilet flusher. Those are useful skills for the next pandemic. But John Cena, he's not afraid of anything, unlike me. I'm afraid of a lot of things. I'm afraid of heights, public speaking, crowded places, clowns, snakes, spiders, MRIs, roller coasters. But there's one thing I'm afraid of more than anything else. I am terrified of getting kidnapped.
No one wants you.
It could be. But maybe I've seen too many of those murder shows, Tommy. I've seen them all. Criminal Minds, CSI, NCIS, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. I mean, what the fuck has to happen to you to be a special victim? There's no way I'm getting in one of those vans. If someone says to me, get in the van or I'm gonna shoot, I just start running. Serpentine, serpentine. They can't hit you if you're doing the zigzag. But almost anyone can get kidnapped. Girls out jogging at night on a college campus, according to my murder shows, they have a 50% chance of getting kidnapped. Jogging is just too risky. You're jogging along, not a care in the world. You're not paying attention because you got your AirPods in, thinking to yourself, oh, Taylor Swift is just fabulous. And the next thing you know, boom, you're laying in the back of a van with a sack over your head. But there is one group of people that doesn't have to worry about getting kidnapped. Fat people. Now, I'm not talking about Scarsdale chubby fat. I'm talking about Walmart scooter fat. So think about it. You're a kidnapper. You go through a lot of trouble. You get your white panel van under a fake name. You go to 5 different hardware stores to get your supplies so they can't track it back to you. You get your handcuffs, gloves, and rope. You get your burlap sack, hot poker, and chloroform. You get your Halloween candy and puppies. You spray paint the back windows black for privacy. You're just strolling along, not suspicious at all, looking for just the right person, and then you see him. It's a big guy, and he is not paying attention because he's got his AirPods in. He probably thinks Taylor Swift is fabulous, and you pull up alongside him, you open the door, you get behind him, and you push as hard as you can, and you can't get him in the van. Never once in any of my murder shows has there been a fat person kidnapped. Next time my wife tells me not to finish my French fries, I'm going to say to her, honey, why do you hate me? There's a lot of things in life that scare me. You ever go in an operating room? There's shit in there you can't unsee. You got a person strapped down to a table. They're naked. They're trying to hide that tattoo they got in high school that they're embarrassed of. The one that used to be a dolphin, but now it's a whale. Or it's a guy, and he knows they've seen a lot of dicks before, but his is really small, and he's wondering what those girls are laughing about in the corner. And then a man with a mask shaves you down, covers your face, knocks you out, and cuts you with a knife. That is exactly like getting kidnapped. You know, but things are weird for us in Scarsdale when we go to the doctor because these doctors are from Scarsdale, right? So my wife sees my doctor. He's the camp doctor for my kids. That means he has treated every single person in my family, and I have to trust him with my secrets. Hey, Doc, don't tell my wife about that little bump on my dick, okay? It's not like she's going to see it anyway. Men complain about going to the doctor all the time. You know what I'm talking about, right? But I'll give you a little tip. First thing I do when I see a new doctor, check out their fingers. I don't care if it's my dentist. I'm not getting happy gas from a dude with fat fingers. Yeah. But women complain too. Women think they have it so bad at the gynecologist. But it's not the same thing men go through. I mean, you're used to things going in and out of there. A baby's head comes out of there, for God's sake. What's a finger or two from the gynecologist? But I give women a lot of credit. They go through a lot of pain to have the babies. Thank you. Yeah. Every woman says to her daughter at least once, having babies is the most beautiful gift from God. And it's beautiful because it's the most pain and only women can experience it. And having you ruined mommy's body forever. But I would do it all over again to have you. And that, Jeff Caldera, is what you were telling me about earlier, how passive-aggressive little girls are made. But women go through a lot of pain. But men, whew, we could not take that kind of pain. You could never get a man to go through the pain of childbirth and then do it again. If men had to have the babies, the human race would die out like that. A finger up my ass is the upper limit of my pain threshold. I don't so much mind it when the doctor has to cup my balls to make me cough, but why does he got to stick anything up my ass? But I found a way to cope with it. Okay, I'm going to let you know. So when you're at the doctor and you see him put on that rubber glove and he pulls it tight and he snaps it at the wrist and you see a puff of powder fly in the air, well, let's just say it puts me in the mood just like I was paying for it. And I guess I am paying for it. But I'm going to tell you a story about the last time I had that exam. And this story is 100% true, I promise you. So the last time I had it, I was thinking about it. I didn't want to have it. I just wanted to get it over with. So when I saw the doctor put on that glove and I saw the puff of powder fly in the air, just like Pavlov's dog, I got in the position. You know what I'm talking about. Your forearms on the table, that gown that's open in the back, your underwear down around your knees. It's a very dignified position. And I said to the doctor, "Okay, doc, let's do this." And he said to me, "Oh, we're not up to that part yet. We'll get to that a little later." I was really excited. And Liz, if you don't believe me, you can ask Dr. Adler if that's true. But when you're at the Scarsdale doctor and he's doing all that funny stuff to you, things start to get a little weird for me at home. I'm like, how come my wife doesn't do that stuff to me? And then I remember I married a Jewish lady, so what did I expect? But I was raised Catholic, so I didn't know. No one tells you Jewish ladies cut off blowjobs the day you start your honeymoon. There's no book on Jewish ladies. You got to learn all that shit the hard way, like on-the-job training. But after almost 20 years of a Jewish marriage and converting to be Jewish, I've learned a lot of things about Jewish ladies. And I love Jewish ladies. One of my favorite things about Jewish ladies is that they love racket sports. It's true. So I'm up at the bungalow, and I'm playing pickleball with some slightly older Jewish ladies. And slightly older Jewish ladies are awesome to smoke weed with. It makes me want to take up mahjong. But they are brutal pickleball competitors. If you hit one to them they can't hit back, you're going to hear, "Why did you have to spin it so much?" Or "You didn't have to hit it so hard." Guys don't fall for it at the trick. They will smash it down your throat if you let them. But I'm lucky I love my wife. She has got this weird habit, though. Whenever I'm watching a hockey game, and I love watching hockey games, and I get really into these hockey games, and she wants to have a talk with me during the hockey game. And here's the weird part. the first thing she says to me is, "Have you even heard one word I said?" Isn't that a weird way to start a conversation? We've been together a while now. We are exactly 1 week away from our 20th wedding anniversary. I love you, honey. Just remember that when you hear this next one. Yeah. Fuck you, Tommy. Was that Tommy? Okay. So, my wife and I get along really well now. But we had a bit of a rough start, you know? When we first started dating, and I finally got the nod to go back to her apartment in Brooklyn, I go back to her bedroom, and she's got stuffed animals everywhere. And she's got this bookshelf full of stuffed animals. And on the top shelf are these big stuffed animals. On the middle shelf are medium-sized stuffed animals. And on the bottom shelf are small stuffed animals. And after the first time we did it, I was proud of myself. I said to her, "So, how did I do?" And she said, "You can take any animal from the bottom shelf." Thank you.
Mike Manzouras, come on! Let's hear it for Mike. So there is just a quick announcement, a collection made. We now have $500 for anyone who can get Tommy to shut the fuck up. So, Lisa, we should definitely move that giant panda to the top floor to make sure no one sees that. There's something that makes you feel, there's nothing that makes you feel less like a man than when you're playing pickleball and the ball goes in the corner and you keep trying to reach it and it keeps moving and you're moving around trying to grab it. Or if you tell people that you play pickleball with old Jewish ladies. Ladies and gentlemen,